Going on, everybody? We are back. The Spread the Floor show is here for game 2 of the WNBA finals. Got my guy Calvin Wetzel, as you know him from all of our other content. And we have a new awesome guest this week, Kate Constable, sports betting host and analyst from BetUS TV, and the host of the All Bets Are On podcast on the Believe Network. Kate, we've been wanting to get you on for a while, just delayed of so many guests, but so happy to have you on at, the pinnacle of the season, the WNBA finals. How you feeling?
Hi guys. Yeah, thanks for having me. I feel very special to be on during the finals of all time. So this is great. Feeling good going into game 2. Game 1 was a little, just not the prettiest game all around, but expecting better things tonight, especially after a great show.
If we had brought Kate on, being a Chicago resident, during that semifinal series, maybe the sky would still be here. She would have had a little magic.
Ugh, I wish. That was tough to watch. I mean, even if you weren't a Sky fan, just a basketball fan in general, that was just tough to watch. You don't see too many games ending that way.
Absolutely brutal, but we must press on. Calvin, any big takeaways from you after game 1?
Yeah, I mean, that was, other than the result, I think exactly what the Sun wanted, right? They wanted a game in the 60s. They wanted the game. That was the slowest paced game the Sun have played all year, tied for it. It was the second slowest game the Aces have played all year, just in terms of possessions per 40 minutes. I mean, that's what the Sun want. They want those grinded out. They don't want us as viewers to have fun watching the game on TV. And I mean, the Aces didn't shoot well, yeah, but I mean, to me, the Sun, I keep hearing these reports from all the people who are talking to the Sun players and coaches that they feel fine. They're not really down about that loss because they feel like they played the way they wanted to. And that was kind of my takeaway too. Like the style definitely favored them, and obviously they covered. They had a chance to tie it at the end. So I don't know. I feel like we could be in for, I'll say a good series in quotes, because depending on who you ask, if it's ugly, maybe it's not good to watch, but good as in at least tight and closely contested.
I feel you. Kate, do you have any big takeaways from game 1?
Yeah, mine's very similar to Calvin's, but I think I have a different perspective on that takeaway. I think the Sun are in trouble because they did control that entire game and they played that game exactly the way they wanted to, and they still lost. I mean, they had held Vegas to their lowest scoring total all season. They forced Vegas to play their style of play. Kelsey Plum, nowhere to be found. The Sun dominated the paint. They won the reboarding battle, and they still lost. And I know they feel fine, so to say. That's what the reports have been saying, and they feel confident, but I don't think they should, because that was their game to steal. That was their game to steal on the road, to go up 1-0 in the series. They were this close, 3 points away. I guess Bonner's shot at the end, what really was not that close. But, I mean, they had it, and they did all the things that they wanted to do, and still were not able to come out on top. I don't think you get that same performance from the Aces in terms of the way that the Sun were able to slow them down, slow the game down, the offensive production from the Aces. So I think the Sun are a little bit in trouble, if not for the entire series, at least for tonight.
That's a good segue into kind of our next topic. As far as the series betting goes, we know some sites have it, BetRivers, FanDuel, Caesar still. Is there any value out there on, I mean, if you do like Connecticut, you're probably, and you didn't bet game 1, you want to take them now, there's definitely value in winning the series overall, or taking them in 4 or 5. I think it's at plus 800 in 5 and then plus 1,000 in 4. Calvin, do you think there's value on the Sun?
I do. I mean, I don't really think they're going to win the series, but those are some high numbers, plus 800 and plus 1,000. They're not winning the next 3. I mean, I'm not going to get crazy, so I probably wouldn't take the Sun in 4. But yeah, I mean, I could see them holding home court, and then who knows what happens in a game 5, even if they lose tonight. Or I could see them picking it off tonight. I also could see them losing by 30 tonight. I could see this going a lot of different ways. But plus 800 is a high enough number that I do feel like it would be worth maybe taking a little bit of a shot there for the Sun to win in 5.
I like that. Now, Kate, I mean, we already feel like you're pretty confident. I'm probably riding the same wave as you. You think there's value on taking the Aces to sweep at plus 170? You're essentially getting 2 money line bets, at plus 170 to win in 3, or to win in 4 at plus 250.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go. I wouldn't be shocked if Connecticut did win one of these games and the Aces won in 4. So maybe you take a unit and you split it up between Aces to win in 3, Aces to win in 4, and you have a little payout. But I think those are the only 2 ways I would look, is for either the Aces to sweep or the Aces in 4. I'm sorry, Calvin. I do. I mean, plus 800, that's a great number. So maybe you take that full unit and you split it up in between the 3 of them and hope that's one of the 3 hits, which I think would be great, odds there. But I don't think the Sun have what it takes to win this entire series. So I would definitely look towards the Aces.
I'm kind of right there with you. I haven't jumped on anything yet, but I'm definitely thinking about it. If I do, I will definitely post on Twitter. By the way, all of our Twitter handles are definitely in this post, and then you can see them at the bottom of our names. With that, let's get into tonight. Vegas is a 4.5-point favorite. Money line minus 210. Sun money line is at plus 175. Pretty much the same as what it was minus 6 last game, right, Calvin?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and then the over-unders definitely dropped significantly. I think it was 167.5 last game as well. I definitely will say, Calvin, you started before the show saying it's dropped a little bit from this number as well. Where do you see it at right now?
I'm seeing it at 161 on DraftKings, 161.5 some places. I mean, it's crazy when you think about it. This series opened up in game 1 at 169.5. I think that game ended up closing at like 167.5. This one opened at 165.5, went down to 163.5 when I was texting you earlier for this show. Now it's down to 161. Like, it's just plummeted. It's like it's over 8 points lower than what it opened up just a game ago. And I don't even think that's wrong. I don't think books are overreacting. I just, like we talked about, the way that the Sun played, and like I don't think it's going to be quite a slow pace the last game. So like I said, that was basically the slowest or second slowest game either team has played all year. But I mean, it doesn't have to be. That game was like 40 points under the total. I mean, we can even kind of regress a little bit and still stay under this number. So I honestly still kind of like the under. I don't know if this one's hitting 160.
I'm right there with you. I took an all under earlier at like 162 at some plus money. So happy to see the line coming down a little bit. But I will probably play it live as well. But you do have a prop as well today.
Yeah, I have a lot. Now I forgot which one I gave you. Oh yeah, there it is. It's on the screen. Alyssa Thomas under 14.5 points. I think, one thing that I do think, like that Kate brought up a good point, is that the Sun lost even though a lot of things went their way, right? And one of the things that went their way was the Aces shot barely over 20% from 3. I don't think that's happening again, as good as the Sun defense is. So I think you're not going to see quite as many transition opportunities from the Sun, which is where Alyssa Thomas got some of her points. The Aces in the half court are really great at protecting the rim, which is obviously where Alyssa Thomas scores, because she's not shooting anywhere outside of 10, 15 feet. She was under this number for most of the game last game, and then in the last couple minutes when the Sun really kind of made that last push, she got a couple buckets and put her over. I think it was a 13.5 last game. That's why we're getting an extra point in this one. But I'm taking the under again. I think this one, like I said, she won't get as many transition opportunities, and I would even take it if it were still at 13.5.
Yeah, she did match her playoff high in field goal attempts last game. I think she also had 16 attempts against the Chicago Sky in game 1 there. So I do like that number as well. Let's move over to Kate. Kate, you do like the Aces tonight.
I do. I think that the Aces come out. They came out in game 1 pretty good too, but with a sustained effort throughout. There were some reports I read. Becky Hammond just exploded at halftime on her team, more so than she's ever done all season. So I can imagine, even though they won that game, that the post-game talk between the team wasn't all that pretty as well. So I think that while the Sun were very happy with the way things went, despite the outcome, I don't think the Aces were happy with how things went at all in that game, despite the outcome being even better for them. So I think we get an Aces team that's much more motivated, that's more focused and locked in. Hammond talked a lot about a lot of the hustle plays that they weren't getting And that's what kept Connecticut in this game. So I think we see Las Vegas winning a couple more of those, and this game going more so towards what I thought game one was going to be like, which was kind of a beatdown by the Aces. I think their shooting percentage goes up. Kelsey Plum is another one of my bets for tonight. Her props. She can't shoot this bad forever. She's a fantastic shooter. She led the league in scoring for the majority of the year. I mean, at some point, she's got to get going. And if she gets going, then this total is maybe the team total, or Vegas's points are going to start soaring, and they're going to be putting up a lot more. Because right now, I mean, all Connecticut really has to do is guard three players: Asia Wilson, Chelsea Gray, Jackie Young. I mean, those are three pretty good players, but Kelsey Plum has not put up an effort where Connecticut's really had to do a whole lot. But I see that changing tonight. She just needs one three to go in, and I think she gets going, and her points. This is going to be her night tonight.
I love it. I'm a big Kelsey Plum stan, so
yeah.
I don't think I have an opposition there. I also kind of like that Aces minus 4.5. I feel like you probably wouldn't get a line this low with Las Vegas at home all year, really. So and then you take into the fact that Derek Hamby's probably going to play some more minutes, and she was excellent in her. I think she only played 10 minutes last night. Don't really know what the restriction is on her, but hopefully we do see some more minutes from there if you're on the Aces tonight. And you also do have one prop on Connecticut.
Yes, Jonquel Jones. I think she has a little bit more of an impact in the paint. I mean, during the regular season, she's had 8.6 rebounds per game. Same with the postseason. But against Las Vegas, she's put up double-digit rebounds 2 out of the 3 games, I believe, during the regular season. So especially with the way Asia Wilson performed in game one, I think that's going to be an emphasis for Connecticut to really be able to shut her down, or at least keep her off the boards a little bit more. And I think Jonquel Jones is the one to be able to do that for Connecticut. So I like her over on rebounds too. A couple overs. That's never a really good, I don't know. Whenever I have too many overs, it makes me nervous, but we're going to go with it for tonight.
I like it. It's a good segue into mine because I like that Jonquel Jones rebound. I feel like I've been on her over rebounds when it's at 9.5, and then I'll, obviously we'll get some stolen from Alyssa Thomas. Always unfortunate there, but I like her over 14.5 points tonight. I feel like she's going to be probably a factor in the area of focus to get her going from Kurt Miller tonight. Hopefully she gets fed early and often. This is a former MVP. We know she can shoot it from all over the place. And then I also assume that Connecticut goes to the free throw line more than 5 times like they did in game one. And hopefully that's where she's also picking up some points. I'm also going to play something a little weird. This is definitely the lowest first quarter total we have seen in a Vegas game. But it hit last night, or game one. I think they got to 43 points total. Same sentiment that everybody's saying. Not everyone's going to keep shooting bad. I feel like there's still going to be a lot of free throws in the first quarter. I don't know who's reffing the game, but if it's Cheryl Flores, I even love this number more. So over 41 in the first quarter, and then I am happy to live bet a second quarter under, a full game under after that. But I'm already on the under, like Calvin is as well. So first quarter under, kind of
41 seems very low.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the Aces are good enough to get to at least 25. So you just need the Sun to make a few shots. Dewana Bonner and Courtney Williams aren't going to combine for 3 for 18 again. So, but I still think it's going to be a messy, ugly game, just like Kurt Miller wants. Any other points of emphasis that you guys see for affecting the outcome tonight?
I mean, I just jump in and say that I love Kate's props. I was on that Kelsey over as well, but also I think the Jonquel over is the biggest thing with her is like in this playoffs, for whatever reason, she's had a lot of games where she gets like 24, 25, 26 minutes. She was the MVP last year. She got 30 minutes in that first game, and I feel like we're going to continue to see, it's the finals now. Like they need their MVP on the court. I feel like we're going to continue to see 30 plus minutes from her. And as long as she's on the court for 30 plus minutes, 8.5 is too low. Like the only reason we're getting a number that low is because her minutes were down earlier in the playoffs. So I feel like that's a great prop too. And she'll probably go over, and we'll start getting 9.5s again the rest of the series. So take it while you can.
Yeah, and the best of 5 series teams that go start the series up 2-0 are 15-0 in the series. So it's that not an absolute must win, but it's a figurative must win game for Connecticut. So I do see them really leaning on their sure things when we've seen Kurt Miller pull her in the past. Hopefully that doesn't happen again tonight.
And Alyssa Thomas has been big for them, but their offense is inconsistent at times, and the scores are a little bit up and down. So Alyssa Thomas has had a good couple games this in game 1 and then in the Sky series, and I haven't been fully impressed with Jonquel Jones lately, but I think at some point, just like Kelsey Plum, I mean, she's the former MVP. She knows what she's doing. She's been here before. So I think she starts picking up her play a little bit. So I like I forget which one of you had it. I think Calvin, the over on, what was it? Jonquel's points, 14.5.
Oh, that was me, but yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great play too. So those are 2 players that I'm looking for tonight. But as much as confident as I am with the Aces winning tonight and covering, I mean, look at what the Sun did to Chicago in that final game. So you never really know what you're going to get from the Sun, which I think is kind of what makes this series a little interesting, because they could come out and blow you out similar to how they did in Chicago. I mean, they don't have any quit in them. So the game's never really over until it's over, which, that's why you play the game.
Yeah, and I do remember talking to Dano, earlier, saying that, even though I was kind of high on the Sun compared to most other people going in this series, like, I was pretty confident that we were going to get at least one Aces blowout for that reason. Like, the Sun might even win the series, and we'll still probably get an Aces blowout at some point. So, like, that may be tonight. Who knows? But you're right. You just never really know what to expect.
Yeah, Calvin, I wish we would have looked this up beforehand, but we should probably tweet it out about how many quarters the Connecticut Sun have played that have gone under the total. I know you were keeping track at some point, but it's ridiculous. So thinking about that, I am definitely worried about my first quarter play. I think I just saw it sitting there for too long. But I'm not sure if we don't see the lines here in New York for Finals MVP. But if you had a Finals MVP, who would you pick?
I got some on FanDuel here. Hold on, let me pull them up. I think Asia is at minus odds already, or pretty close to it at least. She was like minus 370 or something when it opened before the series, which was way too high. Let's see. It's like Asia and then Chelsea, and then no one else is even close. Here. I got Asia's minus 115. Chelsea is plus 160. No one else is even, like, everyone else is in the thousands or higher.
Wow.
Alyssa Thomas is plus 1,200. That's the closest. Plum is plus 2,100. Bonner plus 23. Jackie Young plus 6,000. So I don't know. I mean, Asia's clearly the favorite, but I don't like taking minus odds this early in the series. That's pretty juicy. I wouldn't bet on it right now. I love the 370 when it opened, but no, minus 115. I wouldn't touch that.
I would take Chelsea Gray.
Yeah.
I keep waiting for a little regression from her, and it's not coming. It's literally nowhere to be found. So if you're getting plus money on Chelsea Gray, I think that's fantastic, especially because A'ja Wilson's supposed to be the MVP. Chelsea Gray isn't. She's supposed to be good, but she's not supposed to be the difference maker in this series. And so far, game 1 she was in the Storm series. So if you're getting plus money there. This also tells me that Vegas doesn't think that the Sun are going to win it all, because I think if they thought the Sun were going to win or had a chance, Alyssa Thomas, her number might be a little bit lower, just because, whoever wins this series is likely going to have the MVP. You don't really ever see an MVP on a losing, the team that loses the series. So Chelsea Gray would be my take.
I like that too. That's the only thing I see value on. Unless Kelsey Plum goes nuclear the next few games.
So if she starts tonight.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, and if you're watching this on a replay, that's awesome too. Kate, thank you so much for joining us to Spread the Floor. Definitely got to do a lot more together in the future, especially. I mean, Calvin, we only got like literally 4 more games until possible 4 more games until we get into college season, which I know we both love.
Oh,
Well,
yeah, I can't wait for college season. But yeah, maybe even 2 or 3 more games. Who knows? Sorry, go ahead, Kate.
No, you're good. I'll have to join you guys during college season. That's a fun time.
Oh yeah,
sure.
it's the first month of the year is like Christmas.
Definitely.
All right, thanks everybody.